Hello, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Hi, and welcome again to Monday Guest Speaker Series with Bad Mom Club. Who are we? We're bad moms. We're balanced, authentic, and deserving. We are women. We are scientists. We're moms. 40 children count too. But most of all, we are human beings who have enough of having too much on our backs. So what we do here in our speaker series is we host guest speakers, guest experts such as Shereen today with us, who are bringing in their knowledge, their expertise about various different topics that really help you break bad. Why do you need to break bad? My favorite quote is, because when a woman feels at her best, she can take care of everything and everyone else as her best. So let's get into it. Let's find out what Shereen's got to tell us today. And I'm really, really excited because guess what? She's not only a mindset coach, but she's also a fellow scientist. So that always makes me like, oh, totally geeking out here. So I'm super, super excited to have her with us today live. And we're going to talk about the science of happiness. But first and foremost, Shereen, hi. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I mean, obviously, you're an accomplished woman. You have a degree in microbiology, but you turned mindset coach. I am dying to find out about your journey. What's your story? How did you become a mindset coach? Tell us.
Well, it was after going through my own personal journey, started about 4 years ago. While I did have what I thought I wanted, so I had the job, the husband, the kid, the house, I did the checklist, I did all of it, and I still I wasn't happy. I was still kind of looking for something else, something that was mine. And I didn't know at the time what was missing. And so I went on this journey of it was through a series of kind of different events, seeing different people speak, and I think I heard everything at the right time. And it sent me down a journey of my own self-discovery, asking myself the questions of what do I really want? It sounds like a really simple question, doesn't it? What do I really want? But it's taken me a really long time to answer that. After you go back and you uncover all the conditioning and expectations that you put on yourself, that you assume other people want you to do. You remove all of that and you have to kind of look deep within and figure out who you are and what you want to do. And so that's where it started and how it's led me into where I am today.
I love it. Honestly, it sounds just so familiar to what kind of to my journey, as in society, family, friends, they have certain expectations of us, and they're like, oh yeah, you need to do this, you need to go to school, you need to do blah 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 blah, blah. All the stuff, all the expectations they have, but no one really asks you, what do you want out of your life? And I'll admit, it took me until like 30 until I knew what I wanted out of life. But it's the same thing, like asking that question. And it's okay not to know what you want, but also it's okay that once you figure out what is it that you want, to change your direction and change your path. And that is really important lesson here, because I know there's so many women find out what they're actually really passionate about, what they love, what they want to do in their life, but they're too scared to take that step to make that change, right?
Yeah.
So
Change is hard. Change is hard.
Totally, and scary. It's so scary. It's definitely, a step out of the comfort zone, which we don't tend to do a lot. Even
We
when
are
you're
but
That's very true. That's very true. So you speak about happiness, you speak about mindset. Can you tell us a bit more about what is really the topic that you specialize in, and what is it kind of the recurring topic that comes up when you're working with people?
So, what is it really? I mean, happiness is what you want it to be at its core. You have to define what it means to you. There is no one definition. I mean, if you even look up the definition of happiness on the dictionary, it's a vague definition. It's what you make of it, because at the end of the day, it's a feeling. A feeling is an inside job. It's all about you and how it makes you feel. So there isn't one way to be happy. There isn't a right way to be happy, and it's about kind of starting to define your happiness yourself. And my role in this is to just guide you through suggested steps, and for things to look at, things to think about, to prompt you into directions that you might consider your happiness in. And because we as a society have learned to associate happiness with achievement. So we think we're going to achieve this and then we're going to find our happiness. But what we find out is actually the happiness doesn't come with that achievement. It's not automatic. So if you don't have it in you from the first place, you're not going to find it like that. It's not going to come with anything external to yourself. It's always, always internal. So you've got to figure that out first. And once you figure that out, you can kind of help I work mostly with mums and helping them to kind of teach their children how to be happy right from the beginning. So they don't have to go through life of undoing all this conditioning that we've grown up with to start on their journey. So let's start them young and get them to be happy and follow their true path. And
wow.
What I like, how I like to do things differently is talk about science, which not a lot of people do. I think people find science scary. They find it like, oh my goodness, it's science. It's like I didn't do well at school in science. But you know what? It's not all that. Mindset is all about science. It's all about how our brains work. It's biology. Why are we so scared of it? Why are we scared to understanding it?
Science is all yes, it's physics, it's biology, it's mathematics, it's everywhere around the world. It's just everything is science.
I think the education system makes it seem like it's this thing that is so scary that we don't want to get into because it's hard. And well, not all of it is hard. Some of it's really quite simple. So I think bringing in the sciences, educating people as to how their brains work will really help you to shift your mindset. Because if you understand how your body works, then I think for me, it just seems to make everything makes more sense and easier to do.
Yes, 100%. Honestly, it's that awareness that people need to get. It's about how body as in biological part works, and also how our brain works as the psychological part, because they work. And if we don't understand how they work, then we don't have this awareness and we can't address certain things. So it's really, really important.
Yeah, awareness is key. It's the first step to anything. If you don't have awareness of your thoughts, of your words, of your behaviors, then you can't really change anything. You have to first become aware of what you've got to work with. Your words and your thoughts are your tools. Those are things that you build your life with. So you've got to know what you've got first and what you need to chuck out, or what new tools you need to bring in.
Right. I love this. So let's kind of give examples to people who are watching us, because I know there's so many people out there right now who are, talking about mindset, and they're talking about positivity, affirmations, journaling, all these things. But when it comes to practice, when it comes to everyday person, when it comes to an overwhelmed and really busy mom, right? Let's pretend that's me. And let's say that I come to you right now with just a problem, like nothing works in my life. I can't go forward. I'm just really stuck and I'm unhappy. What are the steps that you would kind of take me through to get to that state of awareness and gratitude and saying that actually, I can be happy right here, right now with what I have?
Well, firstly, it's about kind of taking away all those extra accessories, all those extra things that we think are really important. Dig deep and figure out what is the priority. Where are you stuck? Because while we feel like we're stuck in all areas of our life, generally it's going to be, one aspect, two aspects of our life that we're stuck in. You're not really stuck in everything. If you're stuck in your relationships, you might have a really good job, or if you're stuck in your job, your relationships are fine. So, but when we're kind of not really focused on what we want to change, we're kind of looking at everything and there's a bigger picture, like my whole life is, well, is it really your whole life? Is it really every aspect of your life? So let's look at where the problem area is. What is making you unhappy? What about it is making you unhappy? And it's about kind of going down through the layers and figuring out what is that one thing that you really need to change or you really need to work on. First, find your focus and then start building up, working on it. And there are so many different tools and ways to do it. And it's really hard I find it really hard to generalize and say, oh, this will work for you or this will work for you, because I'm the person to have tried so many things. I've tried so many healing modalities. I've tried all the methods, and I know what works for me. I know the things that I like. For me, one of the easiest ways to get rid of overwhelm is journaling. So I'll get a piece of paper and just brain dump, just put everything that is on your mind out on paper, and then you feel lighter. It's simple and powerful. Gratitude. It doesn't cost you anything to have a gratitude practice, and it's really, really healthy. Things like that really help. I know that meditation works, but it just doesn't fit in my lifestyle. So I dip in and out of meditation kind of person. It still helps me when I'm really stressed out. Some people will religiously meditate every single day and it will do wonders for them. And that's fine. But if you can't, it's still fine. There are other ways that you can try. So there isn't one solution for everybody. You have to figure out what it is that you want to do. You have to build your own toolbox of the things that fit with your life, that around your kids, because we all have different loads, different responsibilities, and it's about kind of considering all those things and knowing that, it's okay if it doesn't work for you. It doesn't matter if everybody seems to be talking about meditation being the cure for everything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You don't like it, you don't like it. Why force yourself into something that you're not enjoying? So
absolutely love it. I'm really actually happy that you mentioned that, because in so many aspects of life and of different coaching, people get stuck too often into what they should be doing instead of finding what actually is working for them. And it's the same, for example, in my coaching when we work with nutrition and health and all these transformational stories. Exactly same. There's no one size fits all. It just isn't, because no two bodies are the same, no two minds are the same. So you can't blueprint these things. You cannot blueprint mindset. You cannot blueprint solutions for gratitude. You can't blueprint solutions for calming down or grounding yourself or anything like that. So I'm really grateful you mentioned that. So as coaches, our job, our role is to guide people to find their own solutions. We can't give you solutions. No coach will ever give you the solution, but we will guide you to the path where the solution comes to you. And you're like, yes, this is what I've needed. And this is what's making my life easier now. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the misconception. And what about coaching, it's not therapy. It's not it isn't the answer. It isn't just one answer. It is about, guiding you through, like you said, guiding you through certain steps and suggesting things. I can make a suggestion and go, you know what, you can go and try that and see if that works for you. But I don't know if it's going to work for you or not, because that's going to depend on it depends on you and your experiences, and what you like, what you don't like. So all I can do is make a suggestion. I can't tell you that's going to be the answer. And I think the problem is a lot of us, all we want is the quick solution. We want the answer quickly. Tell me quickly. How is it going to, how am I going to solve my entire life with one journaling prompt? Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
The microwave society, I call that. Yeah. Everyone wants everything right now and super fast. And this is where we need to take the step back and really realize that how many years did it take us of certain behaviors, of certain conditioning, of certain habits to build all this, to get us to the point in life where we are right now, when we're not happy in this point in our lives. So it took us like 10, 20, 50 years to get here. You cannot expect to solve this in 5 months either. You know, it's a journey. So you need to unlearn, you need to reprogram. I mean, there is science behind reprogramming our brain. There are extensive publications and research done on that. So that is totally like out there. It's possible, but it won't happen overnight. It definitely will not. So
It
you
doesn't.
need to give yourself time.
I mean, it wasn't even that long ago that scientists thought that the brain couldn't change once you're an adult. That was it. You were set
Yeah,
in your ways. You couldn't even change it. And
yeah,
so it's so recent that the research that's coming out with regards to neuroplasticity and how our brains can change, we can remold our brain, and how amazing it is. We're still learning about it.
yes, absolutely. I mean, I find it fascinating. Reading the research on, you know, how neurons can create new connections, how patients after brain injury or brain surgery have certain pathways destroyed, but they can make new pathways around that area, and they can regain the function, or at least a certain proportion of the function. So the brain is plastic. So I mean, meaning that you can do stuff with it. It's not final. It doesn't reach its final end when we grow up. We can rewire the neurons. We can make new pathways. We can reverse the damage in certain extent, or we can find new ways to let's say bypass certain things. And this is the beauty of being human, and of really working on your ever growing development. I don't even know how to say that. When you grow up, that's not you. That is not, this is me forever, you know? And a lot of times I speak to people, and obviously I work with nutrition. So, and a lot of times I speak to people and they go, oh, but I've always been like that. Or I've always eaten like that. And then I try and bring them back. Yes, you have. And where did this take you? Where are you now with I've always been like that? Are you happy here? And I hear a lot of times from people saying, oh, but that was always my habit or always my vice and all that. But have you actually considered changing this? You can change it. You don't have to rely on, oh, but I've always been like that, or my family's always done stuff like that, or it's always been in my culture, in my family. Yes.
Or it's genetic, you know, like you can't change anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, wow. I mean, this topic is just so vast. It's so complex. But let's take a step back and let's talk about the science of happiness. So, obviously, you touched about a lot of things, and it's not one size fits all, and it's not just, you know, something that has been thought by someone. There's actual science behind it. So, what would you suggest for people who are trying to make a change, who are trying to start living a healthier, happier life right now, but they're not fully ready to invest into a coach, for example? What would you suggest for them to start doing right now?
Well, I did a lot of my journey through reading books. You know, and you don't even have to read the whole book. Now you can go on YouTube and you can get summaries of books because the information is all there. I think what coaching does for you is it gives you the guidance. But if you're not ready for that, then you have an infinite number of books and different authors and speakers and TEDx talks, and all this information is at your fingertips, literally. It's just right there for you to go and listen. Just keep listening, keep taking it all in, because sometimes you have to hear one thing 20 times before it
Yeah.
sinks in.
Oh,
It doesn't always sink in. It doesn't click the first time. It doesn't click the second time. You have to hear it in the right way from the right person. So just keep at it, keep listening. You know, there isn't an end point to this journey. Once you start, it is going to go on for the rest of your life. So there's no rush to get it done. There's no time frame that has to be done by. Just keep going. Keep exploring. Keep asking questions. Keep being curious about yourself, and yeah, just keep at it. That's the best advice I can give.
It's brilliant advice. Like you said, I totally agree with you. There's never the end point of development. You can develop yourself as a person, as a professional, as a mother, as a woman, as a whatever you want, and it's never too late in life. So, we've developed ourselves as scientists first, and then we realize that that's not what's making us tick. That's not what makes our heart go like woohoo. And coaching is, and this is why we went into coaching, to use that knowledge that we've accumulated through scientific training and put it to good use to bring science of mind, science of body closer to people who really, really need it. So people never stop reading. I mean, look, come on, I've got so many books here right now I'm reading. This one's actually quite interesting, talking about science. It's called Bad Science. So this one's quite controversial. But, it's all about understanding and keeping your mind open that there are options out there. And coaching, like Shereen said, is the guidance, it's the roadmap that provides you with direction, so that you don't go in 100 different directions, but go the directions that the coach has walked already and has coached other people through, and they know that it works. So it saves a lot of time, and time is money. So, for example, I myself have taken 12 years to go through my personal journey. Why would you go through it in 12 years if you can learn what I learned in 12 years in 12 months, for example, right? So it's just an example. So, wow, I love this topic. I could talk about it like day in, day out, definitely, especially about happiness. It took me a long time to understand, what happiness for me is, and to be happy in the moment, happy with myself, happy with my partner, all these kind of things. So it's
I think I just want to add that, happiness, what it is at its core, is being present and being okay with where you are in that one moment, because we never know what's around the corner. Life will always throw curveballs at you, but about being able to kind of come back to yourself and be okay in that moment. To me, that's what happiness is. It's just being it's a state of being and being okay with that. And you're not going to be happy all the time, and you're not going to be happy every day. Nobody is like that. That's just, if somebody pretends that they are, then they're lying, because it's not like that. But it's just being okay to be you. And that's happiness.
beautiful. I love it. That's like the perfect ending to our conversation. I mean, it kind of just fits straight into being a bad mom. Happiness is being present, is who you are. So being authentic and really understanding that you are deserving of health and happiness. And this is something that you need to work on yourself, because no one else is going to give you permission. But here we are, Shereen and I, giving you permission to be happy right now, right here in this given moment. Any final words before we say goodbye for tonight, darling?
No, I think we've covered it all, but I'm wishing you all a lovely evening, and keep reading.
Keep reading. Absolutely. Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you taking time off from your Monday evening. We will put all the links where you can find Shereen into our comment sections and into our description sections. So wherever you're looking, wherever you're watching us, either LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, please just find the comment section and look for the links where you can find Shereen. Please feel free to reach out. She's a wonderful person. She is really, really nice in guiding the conversation. Even if you don't ask for it, she kind of makes you feel, okay, that's amazing. I love that. So feel free to get in touch with her. And thank you so much, Shereen, for being here with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening, everyone.